This is Justin AMZN on Wednesday, March 31st, 2021, end of March. So today we trapped some bears. We had a bullish gap and go, gapped up above yesterday's close and just continued to run. Got going pretty slow, ran right up into these lines that we've got here and then continued. And if you look at the call, it was really slow to get going. This is the 3150 call, but even after it's breaking out. So this candle here, if you look at this one here and then look at this one here, this is the breakout candle, and this was still under the $3 price. You could have been buying this, buying at 3, stop down at 2, target at 6, and it would have made it there. And then once we got into this sideways action, it actually held up pretty well on the stock. It put in a really nice base in here, came back into a couple of these lows, could have been buying this at 4 with a stop down at 3 and an exit, a target at 7. So would have worked for Wednesday looking for 3 Rs. And then a little bit later, looked like we were going to bounce off the 21 exponential moving average and did not. We actually had a little bit of a gap here, so it's kind of hard to see. So I'm going to zoom in now that we talked about what happened earlier. Let me get this set up where I thought I had it. There we go. And then if I go here, and just zoom in up in this area, there we go. Okay, so we had a gap down right here, crossing the 21. And then we had another gap down here after this kind of rest after battle. And so I really liked this one crossing the 21. If we look at it also on the put, let's let me get this squared up. So you had a similar gap here and also a similar gap right here. And so all of that really lined up really well across all of the options. Well, not all the options, but these options. So you had the low here and really a nice clean low that it was holding. And this is where, you know, it should have bounced if it was going to continue. It did not. It clearly broke down. And so when it gapped here, here, and here, all three of these places, you know, on the stock, on the bullish option, gapping down, clearing this low, and then at least on this price, it didn't really clear a really solid level right here on the put. But this price, it's like, okay, look for this price or look for somewhere in this range for it to come back into. And even though we didn't get a clean retest here on the call, we did have a really nice stair step come in, rest after battle come in, and gave you some opportunities to buy back down at this low. So probably could have bought 12 by 11 in here, and your stop is below that gap. And so it was a really strong gap. It held really well with the 21. And then it continued to run. So the 3100 put was a little bit expensive, but still you could have done 12 by 11, looked for 3R and gotten out at 15. Would have been a really nice quick move. And then you could have done it again over here from 12 to 15, same setup, exactly the same setup. This retested here back up to that same level, came right back up almost to this gap, got the same retest here. I mean, it just worked, came right back to that same level. And so when these line up so well, I mean, those are the ones you got to take. So I was in this. I was actually looking at the 3075 and the 3050 puts, thinking it should have a little bit of a bigger move, you know, rally in the morning, roll over in the afternoon, and it just didn't. And so if I zoom in on this, it just didn't have as good of a move. And so I was in about 550 and target was 8, just didn't get there. And so I moved my target down and then it missed it when it pulled back. But it still made a gain here in the 3075 put. And then I was also in the 3050 put, and that barely moved at all. So it was a good lesson for me that I just need to be closer on the options. And I didn't even look at the other options in between. There should be options every 5 points on Amazon right now, sometimes every 10, but I was sticking with the 50, the 75, and then you know, just was looking at the 3100, the zeros, double zeros, and then for the calls, I wasn't looking at anything closer. I was just looking at the 3150 here. And so if we look at 3125, still had a really slow start. Looks like you could have been getting into this maybe 6 by 5 maybe that would have been a little bit tight. But if you're confident that it'll continue, I mean, you're obviously going to be wrong if it takes out the low and probably have a little bit of slippage. But the upside is, great. You could probably hold something like this beyond just a 3-hour target, looking for that kind of setup. So we did pull back right into the 21 on the daily. So we did have a really nice rally, came back down, and just looking at the candles here, trying to see, does this look similar to anything? We've obviously got a nice bullish candle here after a bearish candle. It looks similar to these two. It's just not as strongly bullish. Well, it's a different kind of bullish. This candle had like a near um, shave bottom, gap down, and reversed and ran up. And then the next day we had a gap down. So do beware that we could gap down again tomorrow. I mean, we've been in this zone for so long. I don't know that it's going to break out yet. It's been held down by the 21 right now. This is the 21 is where we started this very next day here. But it would be great. I mean, having this kind of a bullish run, and let me get back out on here. There we go. So having this kind of a bullish run, this looks like a breakout. Just what's happened here. This looks like it's going bullish, and this is just an S curve, and we're going to pull back a little bit. How good it would be if we pulled into 3080, 3090, somewhere in this range, and then bounced and got a string of bullish candles in a row, along with the squeeze. The squeeze histogram went down a little bit, so that's what we have to wait to see. But if we could continue and do some sort of S curve, kind of like this one did, it just took all day yesterday to go sideways and really got, going late. But if we could do something like that again, I mean, be looking for something bullish right now. It's a bullish gap and go. This is a really nice place to be bouncing with a couple of hammers in the last few days here. So this is definitely a breakout from this this kind of triangle pattern, this inside day that we had yesterday. And like I said, it's trapping some bears. So we'll see if we can continue up a little bit more. I would like to see it get up to like 30.50 up here. And if we can do that and hold there, look to take out some of these highs. That's if we do continue bullish. So I guess we'll have to just wait and see. Hope this helps. This is just AMZN. Thanks.